When I started this channel, I started it with one major purpose, and that was to help you not to buy crap. And that has evolved a lot over the years. And one of the passions that I have now is helping you to understand the marketing tactics of companies that they use to get you to choose their products over other products. And what it comes down to is that they are using these ingredients that have specific claims, but there's literally no scientific evidence that it actually does the thing. To be clear, we are fine just the way we are, but companies like to market to us and they know the things that they think we are self-conscious of. And three of those things that we tend to be self-conscious of are stretch marks, cellulite, and wrinkles, and they know this, and they are marketing hard. But what really will work? Is there anything topically we can do to address those kinds of things if they bother us? And beyond skincare, are there any other treatments that we can do to address those things if they bother us? I have so much information, and I will tell you, some of this really actually made me mad. It made me mad for me, it made me mad for you, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. So hang tight, we're about to get into it right now. Hello, my friend. Welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before, if you're new, hi, my name is Jen. You've come upon the channel called JENLUV, and like I said in the intro, we're here to help you not to buy crap. I want you to have the information so you can go into the store and buy something with confidence that you know exactly what it's going to do and you are not being tricked by marketing. But if you are new here, I want to make sure you know that I am not a dermatologist. I am not professionally trained in this area. I am an ingredient and skincare nerd. I have been looking up stuff like this for the past 7 years, looking at research articles, talking to dermatologists, talking to doctors, learning as much as I can as a layperson about these topics. So the vast majority of this video, I'm not going to be giving my opinion. And if I am giving my opinion, I will let you know when it is my opinion. Almost all of this video is going to be based in science. As always, my research links will be down below so you can check them out for yourself and read the entire articles if you would like to. And also let you know this video is kind of like a nonfiction book. So if you aren't interested in one of the topics, you can feel free to skip around and just watch the pieces that you personally are interested in. And our first piece we're going to talk about is stretch marks. Chances are, if you're watching this, you have stretch marks because 90% of people are estimated to have some kind of stretch mark on their body somewhere. Of course, you probably know that stretch marks form when the skin stretches or when it shrinks very, very rapidly. And by very, very rapidly, I mean over a period of a few months. We might notice our first stretch marks when we're going through puberty and we're growing really fast. That is when people typically see their first stretch marks. If we become pregnant and our bellies get big, that's another time we can see stretch marks, among other reasons. And we're going to be talking about society a little bit in this video because society has expectations on people, especially women. We are expected to look a certain way and not have certain things that are happening with our bodies, and stretch marks is one of them. And if we are in a situation where our stretch marks are visible, it could make us self-conscious. And in that, it's natural for people to want to get rid of them. I do have some sad news for you though. Stretch marks are like scars. You cannot get rid of them. But there is good news in that there are some things that you can do to make stretch marks less noticeable. But then flipping it back the other way, the American Academy of Dermatology says that there is no one solution that seems to work for every single stretch mark. I do want to spend a little bit of time on prevention for stretch marks because there are things that you can do if you know that your skin is going to stretch for one reason or another that you might want to do. So this is where we're going into opinions for just a second. So when I was pregnant with both of my kids, I used Palmer's cocoa butter on my belly. I'm going to be honest, not every day because I'm just not, I didn't do that. But I did use Palmer's cocoa butter, and I will tell you, I do not have stretch marks on my belly. And I think it was because of the Palmer's, but there's really honestly no way to know. It could be because of that. It could have been because of my genetics. It could have been because of my skin type. Like, we don't really know. But this is what's interesting, and this is the theme that we're going to see throughout this video, in that I bought it because I thought cocoa butter was the ingredient that I needed on my belly. But oh no, it wasn't the cocoa butter. It was other things that they include in the Palmer's cocoa butter. So this is what science says. Centella and hyaluronic acid are two ingredients that dermatologists say can help prevent stretch marks. What's in Palmer's cocoa butter? Centella. It doesn't have hyaluronic acid in it, but it does have a similar ingredient called glycerin and then another one called glyceryl stearate. The job of hyaluronic acid and glycerin and glyceryl stearate is to bring water into the skin. They're called humectants.
Broadly, these molecules help attract and retain moisture in the epidermis. Humectants help get the younger, moist cells towards the outer layer of skin, as well as reduce the flakiness of dry skin.
So Palmer's marketed it to me as a cocoa butter ingredient, but cocoa butter is only rumored to help prevent stretch marks. It doesn't actually do that. So what they did was they put there is cocoa butter in it, but that's not the active thing that's helping in this situation. It's the things that people haven't heard of. They included those too. So in a side way, they marketed pretty well, I think. And it did work for me. Will it work for everybody? I don't know. But I just found that fascinating that it wasn't actually the cocoa butter. Other things doctors say you can do if you know that your skin is going to stretch, things like staying hydrated, the balanced diet with vitamins A, C, and D, as well as zinc and protein can help. They also say that regular exercise can help prevent stretch marks, which I thought was interesting. I would love to know the science behind that. I didn't dig deep into the exercise piece. That being said, though, I do have stretch marks. They're just on my hips and some other places on my body. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about what doctors say about existing stretch marks. They say basically that creams and lotions and things like that are unlikely to do anything for existing stretch marks as far as long-term effects. Things like sunless tanners, people have said like, hey, that might help to reduce the appearance of stretch marks, and it might. It just kind of depends on your skin tone, the tone of the stretch mark, whether it's discolored compared to your other skin, and how that self-tanning lotion could help to even the skin tone. There are some prescription treatments that I read about. I didn't realize there was a prescription strength hyaluronic acid, but apparently there is. There's also tretinoin, which is the prescription strength retinol. But unfortunately, doctors do say that if your stretch marks are more than 6 months old, that even those two ingredients may not make the stretch marks lessen in their appearance. Very important to note here, if you were considering any retinol product, tretinoin, retin-A, any of that, if you're pregnant, you are not supposed to be using any of those things. There are some things you can get done in a doctor's office that might lessen the appearance of the stretch marks. They're not going to get rid of them completely, but it could make them less noticeable. Things like chemical peels, laser therapy, microdermabrasion, radio frequency, and ultrasound. They are typically not one-time treatments, though. You're going to have to go back multiple times. So keep that in mind and definitely talk to your doctor about how many times and how long the results are going to last, all of that, and make sure it's worth it to you. Because the thing is, these treatments are not cheap. According to the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, they say the average cost of these procedures can range from $167 per treatment for microdermabrasion to over $2,000 for laser treatments. And again, they're not one-time shots. It sometimes takes many treatments for the stretch mark to become lessened. So overall, end game, there are some preventative things that you can do to prevent stretch marks if you know you're going to get some, but they're not guaranteed to work. And once you have stretch marks, there are things you can do to make them look a little less stretchy, but nothing's going to get rid of them, unfortunately. So if you see a product that says it is going to get rid of your stretch marks, or if you just think it's going to get rid of your stretch marks, just know that that's not something that's going to happen. I learned so much about cellulite researching for this video, so I'm so thankful to have this job because I got to learn some fascinating things that I did not know that actually made me feel so much happier about my cellulite. I felt so much better about it. But before we talk about cellulite creams, I just want to put in a little disclaimer. I am going to be using gender-inclusive language, so for some reason gender-inclusive language offends you, you can feel free to exit out of the video now. So now let's talk about cellulite, because that was what we all expected to be talking about today. Let's talk about it. So what is cellulite? I personally thought cellulite was a fat that you got in your body when you got old. That's what I thought. That's not real. Cellulite is just regular fat. It's not any kind of special, like you've done something wrong kind of fat. It's just fat that has gotten to closer underneath the skin surface so you can see it better. Most of the time it appears on the stomach, on the thighs, on the butt cheeks, and it's just kind of a dimpling of the skin. And we are told, especially women from a very young age, that we need to be smooth with no lines or creases or dimples or any of that. We're not supposed to have that. But the reality is that 80 to 90% of people assigned female at birth have cellulite. Doesn't matter the size of the person, we all have it for the most part. But on the other hand, if you were assigned male at birth, 10% chance of cellulite. Why is that? Does it have something to do with people who are assigned female at birth that we do something different? No, apparently there are fibers that run underneath our skin. And if you're assigned male at birth, they're crisscrossed. And if you're assigned female at birth, they kind of run more parallel. So it's easier for the fat to go up underneath that and kind of show through the way those fibers are underneath our skin. Isn't that weird? Isn't that nuts? I had no idea. So when people assign male at birth, that fat is 100% still there. It just can't get close enough to the skin's surface in order to be able to see it. Again, like with the stretch marks, is there anything wrong with having cellulite? Absolutely not. But it does bother some people, and it has created a booming market of skincare products that claim to help to get rid of your cellulite or reduce the appearance of cellulite. If you see a product that says it will get rid of your cellulite, know that it's a lie. It is not real. There is no way that a topical cream can do anything at that level of your skin to make your cellulite truly not be there anymore. But there are some creams that may help to reduce the appearance of cellulite. So the reason why I'm mentioning it is because we need to understand what we can expect from these and what they absolutely will not do. One of the ingredients that you may want to look for in your cellulite reducing products is caffeine, because it's supposed to dehydrate the cells in a way to help the cellulite to not be as noticeable. Another one is retinol, because retinol can help thicken the skin. So after a very long period of time using retinols, you may see a thickening of the skin. And if the skin is thicker, you just won't be able to see the fat cells as easily. The most promising treatments for cellulite are medical treatments that address those bands that are underneath the skin. For example, there are laser treatments that actually go underneath the skin and address those bands. There's also something called subcision, where they put a needle underneath the skin. And then there is something that, I don't know about this one. I'm sure it's my lack of medical training that makes me a little more freaked out about this one, but this one is the most promising. It's called vacuum-assisted precise tissue release, where they cut the bands. All of them have been shown to reduce the appearance of cellulite for at least 6 months, and the last one is up to 3 years and maybe even longer for some people. But what's really important to note even about these treatments is that your cellulite is still gonna come back, and it's just the way that our bodies are built. A non-invasive medical procedure that I thought was pretty interesting was called acoustic wave therapy, and in that they use radial pressure waves to break down the cellulite and fat just below the surface of the skin. But if you're interested more in all of these different treatments, the American Academy of Dermatology wrote a really interesting article that I'll link down below that goes into more detail about all of the different treatments. But what it comes down to as far as buying topical treatments for cellulite, we really just need to manage our expectations, and you have to use them religiously. You have to use them every single day. When you stop using them, you're going to stop seeing results, and the results that you see are going to be minimal compared to these more invasive treatments. All right, y'all, we're going into anti-wrinkle, anti-aging land. And one of the articles that I read is absolutely right. Anti-aging is an outdated kind of statement when you think about it, because we should, as a society, and I'm stressing should, all be very thankful to age. There are a lot of people that don't get the privilege to age, but we also need to be in reality in that we do live in a world where there's a lot of ageism and there's a lot of people that judge people based on how old or young they look. And we have to live in that world. We have to live in reality. So in my lifetime, I don't think we're going to get to a time where people are just not ageist anymore. So because we live in this world, let's address it. A lot of us, including myself, really like anti-aging treatments. I like my wrinkles to be minimized. I like things that will help me to produce collagen and elastin as long as possible. And I don't think that I'm alone in that. If you are embracing your wrinkles, I applaud you. I think that's fantastic. I want to be like you when I grow up, really and truly. I'm just not personally there yet. Let's talk about it. First, why do wrinkles form? Second ago, I was talking about elastin and collagen. Basically, the way I've described this in the past is I feel like is the best explanation for me. So the elastin is like the springs in the mattress that give your skin that bounce back. The collagen is like the fluff in the mattress. It's what makes your skin poofy. And after we turn 30, we lose about 1% of our production of those things every single year. And as we get even older, when we're going into menopause, if that's something that our body is going to do, then it starts to even go faster. We also see a thinning of the skin. And when our skin thins, if you see someone's hand that is of a certain age, you may be able to see their veins through their hand. That is because their skin is naturally thinning. It's just what happens. And it is important to remember that no matter how many treatments you do, whether they're at a plastic surgeon or a dermatologist or at home in your bathroom, nothing will stop your skin from getting wrinkly. It doesn't happen. You look at celebrities that have all of the money in the world, these very, very wealthy people, they invest in these things and they still get wrinkles. And that is perfectly okay. But in our reality, we need to remember that nothing is going to stop the aging process. All we can do is slow our skin's aging. We cannot stop it. It's important as consumers, though, to know which ones actually are science-backed as far as helping our collagen and elastin and our skin to stay nice and thick. There's ones that have science behind them and ones that absolutely do not, but they sound really freaking cool. So let's talk about those, the ones without science behind them, or they sound really cool and they trick the consumer, but there's no science. Just like with the cellulite, all of the changes are happening below the skin's surface on a different layer. And some skincare products just can't get down there. The molecule's just too large. And if you watch my channel a lot, you know which one I'm going to talk about first because you recognize that language, and it's collagen. Collagen topical creams trick so many people every single year. I would imagine it's hundreds of thousands of people are tricked because people see that word and they think that it is going to encourage collagen production in their skin when it absolutely will not. What collagen actually does is it gives the skin more moisture. And if your skin is dry, you may see some cracking of your skin. And then when you put the lotion on, you see the little cracks are gone because it's now moisturized. So you may see some topical difference if your skin is already dry when you use collagen, but you don't need collagen. You can use just basic moisturizers that are much less expensive than those products that are claiming to have this collagen effect. They may not say it just like that. They'll say, science-backed collagen will help to reduce the appearance of fine lines. Well, yeah, but it's only gonna last as long as that product is on your skin or as long as your skin has been moisturized by that product. Very soon after that product is off your skin, there's gonna be no effect from it. And I think that's where people get confused with collagen products. So is collagen a bad ingredient? Absolutely not. It's a fine ingredient, but you do not need to pay a premium for a product that has collagen in it. Now, I do want to mention, side note, there is a case for ingestible collagen as far as that helping to encourage collagen production in the skin. But a lot of that, whether that's going to work for you or not, it seems based on the science that that's going to depend on your diet and whether you already have enough of the things that you need that are comparable to collagen or collagen in your diet, whether that might work for you or not. So if you're doing ingestible collagen and it's working for you, yay, go for it. If you are not using it and you're thinking about it, I would recommend talking to your doctor about it, talking about your current blood work, what that says about you, and whether an ingestible collagen might do something good for your skin. Another one that drives me absolutely bonkers is stem cell skincare. Stem cell skincare kind of falls into two categories. There's plant-based stem cell skincare and there's animal-based stem cell skincare. Most of the things that you're going to see at Sephora or any other place where you're seeing that, it's going to be plant-based. The animal ones, they tend to really jack up the price. We'll talk about why in just a little bit. Now, I am not a scientist, but I do know that stem cells are supposed to help whatever the thing is to rejuvenate, right? We know this, the stem cells research, all of that. We've heard of this. So when we see stem cells, we think that it's going to help rejuvenate our skin. But let us take a look at pictures that may have been in my high school biology class that I forgot existed. Here is a plant cell. Here is an animal cell. They are very, very different. They have very different functions. I am okay without the chlorophyll. I am okay because Kermit the Frog told me that it wasn't easy being green. So I'm just going to let it go. I don't want to be green. Thank you so much. Anyway, my point is that if you are a plant, then a plant stem cell might be able to help you. If you are an apple and you use Juice Beauty, maybe it will help you to do something. Actually, chances are it won't, because there's a second factor here. The second factor is that the cell has to be alive in order for it to do something. And when you put something in a jar, it's going to die if it didn't die before it went in the jar. So even if we could do something with plant stem cells, they're dead in the jar. So it's like, it's not going to do anything. Legit not going to do anything. So how does this happen? How do we get this stem cell marketing in all of these products? It's because the FDA doesn't regulate this stuff. I know a lot of regulation places around the world don't regulate things like this. You don't have to prove that your ingredient does the thing that you're insinuating that it does. Let's use Juice Beauty as an example, the Mott's for Tots of skincare. So we have Juice Beauty, we have this moisturizer. In this moisturizer are plant stem cells specifically from apples. If you have used this product and you have gotten good results from it, chances are it's because of the other ingredients that are in this. There's grapeseed oil in here. Grapeseed oil is a fantastic scientifically backed antioxidant. There's vitamin C in here. If that is a stable enough form of vitamin C, that is in there as well as an antioxidant. There's also a lot of other good moisturizing and hydrating ingredients in there. Apple fruit extract itself is very hydrating to the skin. So chances are if you're seeing good results with this product, it's because of those ingredients, not the stem cells. So why did they talk about the stem cells? Because it makes them look different. It helps them to stand out in the market. I've never tried something with plant stem cells. I'm going to go ahead and try that. It is how Juice Beauty sells products. It is also how they charge $70 for this 1.7 ounce bottle, is because they're giving you this expensive ingredient that most likely does absolutely nothing. And what backs that up for me, this made me laugh a little bit, and maybe it'll make you laugh too. So I was looking on the website and it has 3 different ingredients that it talks about as like their key ingredients. So of course it's got the stem cells, right? The plant stem cells. Then it has underneath that grape juice or grape stuff, which talks about the antioxidants. Then it talks about jojoba oil. And you notice how the grape extract or the grape juice, it's saying the benefits, and then the jojoba oil, it says the benefits. Look what it says about the stem cells. Nothing. It doesn't do anything because those know that it doesn't do anything. So they make no claims. But they've just misled you to that point so much that people don't even notice. This is just my opinion. Again, not a scientist, not a dermatologist, just my opinion based on the science that I've read. It's tricky. They're tricky. So what about the animal ones? Okay, check this out. This blew my mind. All right, I found this brand called Angela Caglia. She sells or they do, I don't know if it's a person or a brand or whatever. They sell their Cell Forte serum for $395, and it contains serum combining human-derived and synthetic exomes. No idea what the freak that means. No idea. But they say, quote, "Our proprietary patented technology harnesses the power of human-derived exomes, which have been extensively researched and proven to promote cellular regeneration and overall skin health." So reading that to me, as a layperson who doesn't know a ton about stem cells and skin, all that stuff, I would think that this has actual human cells in it. Does that make you think that too? Because that's what that sounds like to me. This is what it says on the next line. Vegan. If it has human stem cells, it can't be vegan. Vegan, clean, fragrance-free, cruelty-free, ethically and safely sourced, DNA-free, and does not contain any human stem cells. The stem cells are made in a lab. They're lab-created stem cells. So what else is in it? If I'm not saying the lab-created stem cells do nothing, I don't know what they do. But I feel like this marketing is misleading. And if you look at the rest of the ingredients, it actually looks pretty nice. There's antioxidants in here. There's emollients to make your skin feel nice and smooth. And there's humectants in here to pull that water into the skin. There's occlusives to hold that and lock that water in. There's peptides in here. I know there isn't a ton of research behind peptides, but there's enough. And also my anecdotal use of products with peptides, I personally really like them. I wouldn't bet the farm on them, but I don't shy away from peptides when they're in a product. I kind of like when they're in there. So that's all in there, along with these lab-created human cells. So what is actually doing the thing to your skin if this is a good product? For me, my thoughts are it's all the other ingredients doing this, but they can jack up the price to that $395 because of the serum combining human-derived and synthetic exomes. And then I found one other one that I thought was really interesting. So this company on my notes says Calcium Professional. I have a feeling autocorrect got me and it's called something else, so I'll put it on the screen for you. They use stem cells from the umbilical cord lining membrane of a red deer. That is their hero ingredient. The stem cells isolated from cord lining membrane are neonatal, parentheses, very young, and as such, as more potent and robust compared to their adult-sourced counterparts. Does an adult have an umbilical cord? Do we know how umbilical cords work? Do we understand birthing of mammals? It doesn't seem like it. And the thing is, again, if we're going to take these deer membrane umbilical cord cells and put them in a bottle with a bunch of other ingredients and put them on the shelf, they're going to die. It is highly unlikely that they will do anything either. And they are charging for this professional serum $100 for 5 milliliters. The ingredient list in this is actually very small. I'll put it on the screen for you. It's basically humectants, again, to pull water into the skin, and glycoproteins, which do help the skin's barriers. So I'm thinking it's the combination of those things that are helping to people to see a difference in their skin. But yeah, chances are it's not from the deer umbilical cord. Probably not. If you want to learn more about this, there is a fantastic article in the World Journal of Biological Chemistry. It was published in 2021, and it debunks stem cell skincare real hard. It's very good. I will link it down below for you to read. So then the final question is for this: what actually works for fine lines and wrinkles? Cosmetic surgeries do work. They do. They genuinely do. Surgeries, fillers, Botox, all of that, microneedling, laser treatments, all of that has been scientifically proven to minimize your fine lines and wrinkles. But just like any of these treatments, the more we age, the more that time goes on, new wrinkles will emerge. And if you're not trying to go the doctor route and you're just trying to do something at home, if you have wrinkles already, like I've got these beautiful little guys on my forehead, they're not going to go away. You're not going to make wrinkles go away with topical skincare products. It's just not going to happen. But what we can do is we can help decrease the depth of those wrinkles by using different home devices. There's quite a few of them that are scientifically proven to work. There's also topical ingredients that can help to plump those wrinkles both temporarily and having a more long-term effect. So these are the ingredients you're going to look for. I'm going to put them on the screen so you can screenshot them or write them down or put them in a note on your phone. These are the ones you're going to look for when you look at the back of a container. So we're looking at retinols, but the closer you get to tretinoin, the more likely it is to actually hold back the wrinkles. There's different depths of it. We could do a whole video on retinols, but I'm just going to link one down below that has all of the information on the different levels of retinol because some of them don't work nearly as well as other ones. Then we have vitamin C and other antioxidants. Vitamin C is another multi-layered ingredient where some of them are better than others, but green tea extract is another one that has a lot of research behind it, just some kind of antioxidant. We also have coenzyme Q10, which is a fantastic ingredient, niacinamide, resveratrol, bakuchiol, which is a great retinol alternative. If you can't use retinol because it irritates your skin, look at bakuchiol. That may be a good thing for you. It does something similar. It's just more mild for your skin. And then also we have tranexamic acid, glycolic acid, and lactic acid. Those are all ones you want to look into. Definitely check with your dermatologist of which ones would be right for you, or look into the individual ingredients to kind of decide. They all have different things that they do, but they can all work toward either helping to encourage your collagen and elastin production or to stop your collagen and elastin from deteriorating further, or help to slough off dead skin cells to make your wrinkles appear less prominent, all of that. It just depends on which one. Something to keep in mind though before you invest in these skincare products is that you do need to use them regularly in order to see effects. Just basic hydrating of your skin using a basic moisturizer that may not even have any of those things in it. If you haven't been using something like that, that could even minimize your fine lines. Probably not your wrinkles, but your fine lines, and make your skin just look healthier and more hydrated. But some of these, you do need to use them for a period of time before you see results, especially the retinols, and you feel like nothing is happening, but then eventually it does happen. And retinol is one of the most researched ingredients out there for wrinkles. So that is definitely one that I recommend. Just don't expect to see results right away. But if there is nothing else that you get from this video, if there's nothing else, may I suggest sunscreen? UV rays from the sun is the number one reason why we have wrinkles. UV radiation, not only does it cause wrinkles, but it also causes skin cancer. So please, please, please use your sunscreen. And if you grew up like I did with the pressure of being tan, there are so many options now for sunless tanner out there. I would recommend trying one of those and seeing if you like it rather than going out in the sun if you care about your skin health. Some people just don't care. They've given up. They just don't care. It's your skin, it's your life. But if you really are trying to go the anti-aging route and trying to minimize how many wrinkles and fine lines you have, staying out of the sun is the number one thing you can do. And when you're in the sun, using that SPF 30 or higher sunscreen and reapplying it as needed. And now, my friend, it is my favorite part because it is your turn. In the collective brain of makeup awesomeness, where we help each other not to buy crap and to buy things that are totally worth it, it is your turn down in the comments to contribute, because I love this community. I love it because we have people of so many different ages. We have people of so many different skin tones, so many different skin types. We live in different places all over the world with different climates. I would love to know what you think of the things that I presented in this video, and if there's anything that I missed, I would love to know what I missed and your experience with these ingredients. What do you think? Any thoughts? I would love to know in the comment section down below. Thank you again so much for watching. If you would like to hang out just a little bit longer, YouTube should be recommending a couple videos for you over here to watch. The bottom one I've picked for you, it is how to make your skincare routine better without spending any money. And then the one on the top is one YouTube's gonna pick for you based on your viewing history. But if you do have to go, I get it. It's no problem at all. Thank you for hanging out as long as you did. And mad love to you, and I will see you in a video very, very soon.